Today on The Good Stuff, Mary's springing into pizza night.
Look at this sizzle. Like, can you even... Woo.
Then, you gotta see it to believe it.
Whenever you guys are ready, open your eyes.
Design team Sebastian Clovis and Diana Augustine turn this couple's bedroom into a relaxing sanctuary. And Alexis Honce helps you travel light with smart ways to maximize your carry-on. The Good Stuff starts right now.
Thumbs up, feeling good today. Now, in my house, any night of the week can be pizza night. Do we agree? Right? And I don't know who decided that Friday was pizza night, but they clearly don't know how to live, because any night is a good night. And while I love our standard go-to toppings, personally in my house, this is chaos. We like pineapple, green olives, and hot peppers. Ooh, sorry, not sorry. As spring really starts to spring, why not celebrate the season by switching up the usual toppings and make what I'm calling my spring is here pizza. Does that sound good? I'm genuinely very excited about this recipe because basically it's taking anything that looks delicious at the store right now, putting on a pizza, getting it in the oven, and getting it into your belly. It's always a good thing. Now, the first thing I want to get to work on is the pesto. So as opposed to doing a classic tomato sauce on the bottom, I wanted to do a pesto because this is a great opportunity to really celebrate that bright green flavor of the season. So the first thing I'm going to add into my food processor is some basil. We're going to do a classic basil pesto, but if you wanted to, if you could find ramps right now, which are little wild garlic, you could use those in here. You could also do chives. Really any sort of good herb would be beautiful. I'm gonna throw about a cup of basil leaves into my food processor. Looking beautiful. And then I'm gonna go in with some peas. Now I'm using classic frozen peas because they were picked last spring, so technically they're spring peas. I'm feeling good about it. So I'm gonna go in with about a cup of those. This is gonna give a really nice texture to the pesto. It's also gonna help keep it nice and bright and green. Because basil, when you tend to like mix it up, it gets a little bit bruised. This will stay beautiful and bright and green. So it's a cup of peas. Then I'm gonna go in with my very favorite ingredient, which is cheese. Because every good sauce needs a bit of cheese. So I am using Pecorino Romano here. If you wanted to, you could do Parmigiano Reggiano. Pecorino is actually kind of a goat's cheese, so it has a little bit more of a like tang to it. It's not gonna be like a creamy goat's cheese like a Chev, so it's not as funky, but it's really salty, really delicious. If you just had Parmigiano Reggiano, feel free to use that. As you could tell, I think in the recipe I call for half a cup, but I'm going more than that because that's just the mood today. All right. Looking good in there. Now I'm gonna go in with some garlic. This is massive garlic right now. I'm not mad about it. The recipe, again, calls for 2 cloves. I'm gonna do 1 because that's really, really big. And I am a friend to the machines, to the robots. So I always grate my garlic going into the food processor. I wanna give it a bit of a head start. Garlic is obviously a little bit harder than that basil and stuff like that. So I wanna give it a head start so I don't have to process this as much. Because this little baby, when you run it, makes a little bit of heat. And when you heat that basil up, it can kind of bruise it a bit more. So the least amount of processing possible is good to go. All right, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of lemon zest because if you are buying a lemon and throwing away the zest, you are throwing away money. And I love lemon zest. Lemon zest tastes like what you think a lemon should taste like without that acidity, but I do still want a little bit of that acidity. So I'm going to go in with about half of that lemon. If you want to avoid the seeds, I do a thing called cheeking, where you just cut off kind of the cheek of the lemon, almost like you're cutting an apple around the core. Usually all those seeds stay in the center, then you don't have to worry about those pips, which is always a good thing. Pop that in. Gonna season that up with some salt, a little bit of pepper as well. And then this is where I go a little off-brand. Yes, we have peas in here. Yes, I'm using that pecorino as opposed to Parmigiano, but I'm going in with some pistachios. I'm not using pine nuts. Personally, I don't like pine nuts that much. And when I buy them, first off, they're a gajillion dollars. Second, I use like a tablespoon in pesto once, forget about them, and then I have gross pine nuts in my pantry that go bad very, very quickly. So if you use pistachios, first off, I love eating these. They're super, super tasty, but any sort of nut works in place of a pine nut. Maybe you're allergic to a pine nut and you can eat a pistachio, go for that. The only one I don't love is almonds. I find them a little bit too lean. And speaking of lean, I'm going to go in with some oil, so the opposite of lean. So I'm going to go in with, I'm going to say 4 tablespoons to start, but we might need to add more. Anytime I am making pesto, though, I like to make it really chunky, keep it really nice and thick. That way I can kind of start to process it down or add it into things. And to me, that looks and smells like springtime. Oh my gosh, that's delicious. Very exciting. Okay. I like leaving mine a little bit chunkier, but that looks so bright and fresh and green. If I didn't put those peas in there and those green pistachios, it would tend to look a little bit darker in color, and I love this color, bright and fresh. Now, we are gonna talk pizza dough. I've got store-bought pizza dough here. We made our own pesto. I'm not gonna ask you to make pizza dough. You can if you want to, but if you buy those big bags that you sometimes get in the deli section, they're a little bit big, so I'd use about half of one of these for there. If you buy the frozen ones, those are usually about the size. So I'm just gonna stretch this out, but I'm gonna add a little bit of oil onto my sheet pan. If you want to here, you could also do a little bit of cornmeal for a little texture. I'm just gonna toss this kind of in here and then just stretch this out. Now, basically you just kind of wanna run around the pizza dough. This is how my grandpa told me you're supposed to turn a corner in a car. It's not. Don't do that on your driving test because you're not gonna pass. But giving it a little bit of a stretch, you can use the backs of your knuckles just to give it a bit of a stretch out. We are not getting a circle, don't worry about it. I'm gonna slap that down, stretch it out as much as you can. If you want it a little bit thicker, you can leave it like this. If you want a little thinner, keep stretching. But I'm gonna get to topping. So I've got that beautiful pesto here, looking fantastic. And I'm just gonna spread that down onto that wonderful pizza base. Super tasty. Now, to keep things bright and fresh and delicious, as opposed to weighing this pizza down with my pineapple and my green olives and things like that, I'm gonna keep things bright and fresh. So I'm gonna go on with fresh mozzarella. You could also use classic, like pizza, low moisture mozzarella, but you want about 200 grams, and I'm just gonna kind of tear that over top just to give you nice chunks. These kind of melts into little pools. Yeah, I like a clap for cheese. That's gonna be beautiful. And then you can kind of top it with whatever springy things. Again, if you used ramps in here, throw those on top. I'm just gonna go for some prosciutto though. I actually like to bake my prosciutto. I like the texture you get, it's a little crunchy. So I've got a few slices here. You can lay them down kind of flat, but I kind of like rumpling them a little. You get a little bit more texture. Also, anytime you're doing your next charcuterie board, do this with your prosciutto. Everyone will think you're fancy. Looks very exciting. All right, pop that on. Then I'm just gonna pop this into an oven. Now, whenever you're making a pizza, you want a hot oven. So I'm going into a 475-degree oven, bottom rack. You want really, really hot right on the bottom to get a good crispiness. I'm gonna pop that on in, and that should only take about 12 to 15 minutes, depending on how thick you made that crust. You're looking for a little bit of golden brown. Oh, you're looking for a little bit of crispy and cheesy and melty. And you are very much, look at this sizzle. Like, can you even, woo. This is the thing, when you use that fresh mozzarella, it gets just so oozy. Do not skip on this little cheese chunk. Shouldn't be sticky because of that beautiful oil we put down. Just slide it onto your serving dish. Woo. If this is what pizza night looks like, again, any night of the week. Now, to jazz this up a bit more, I'm gonna go on with some chopped pistachios just to hint that there's something a little different in here. Maybe a little bit of hot honey. Do we feel good about this? Just drizzle that right on over top. Okay, okay, okay. Regular honey would be delicious here too, but hot honey on pizza, next level. Then you can also get a little bit of that fresh basil and just tear that right over top. This to me is a dream. It is a true celebration of the season we are moving into. It's gonna be absolutely delish. This is gonna be the world's hottest pizza. Am I gonna try? Yes. Okay. 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 Okay, you get a little bit of cheese pull. Okay, I'm gonna throw it a break now because this is gonna be hot. We gotta take a quick break, but we will be right back.
Tomorrow, Stylist Alexis Honce is giving 2 viewers a head-to-toe summer style refresh. Then, embrace your waves. Nikki Strachan is fighting the frizz with waves you can actually do at home. And we've got quick steps to add to your makeup routine that'll have you glowing all summer long. The good stuff is all new tomorrow.
To have a bedroom that feels like a sanctuary. So when busy couple Tuan and Daryl wrote to us for help making over their space, we sent Reno and design team Sebastian Clovis and Ayanna Augustine to check it out.
I'm super excited for today.
This is gonna be a lot of fun.
It is. So we're designing this bedroom for Tuan and Daryl. And these guys are amazing. They're super busy because they created a dodgeball league to create a more inclusive community. And it keeps them busy all week.
And that's why we're here.
Yes, it's our chance to give them a little magic for all the magic that they're bringing to the community.
Knock, knock, knock.
Hey, good morning.
Hello. The whole gang is here.
How are you doing? It's cold.
Yeah.
It is. Coming in?
Yes,
Let's go in.
definitely. You too. Okay, wonderful space.
It's so bright in here and beautiful.
Before we get started, the reason why we're here is because you guys have done so much for the community.
Yes.
You've actually organized a community dodgeball league.
Yeah, so I co-run a queer dodgeball league. Me and my best friend, when we started dodgeball, we were pretty much the only 2, maybe three or 4 others, and we built out a league, and we sell out pretty much within 5 to 10 minutes every season.
Wow.
Daryl helps as well.
What's going on with these crutches?
Well, just
Dodgeball accident?
yeah, definitely dodgeball related. I'm hoping that I'll be back very soon.
Okay, tell us about the space. How does it function? How does it work for you? What do you love? More importantly, what do you hate?
Well, we kind of just pick things as we saw them, and that's how we kind of decorated the space.
Eclectic.
Yeah, eclectic, just kind of like scattered, no like set mindset.
There's a lot of beautiful bright light coming in here.
Yeah.
Tell me about the window coverings.
As you can tell, it's a little busted, so we don't really roll up the curtains as much.
We want to make it more homey. We want to make it more us. We just haven't found the time to do that yet.
And I notice you have a couple of wrestlers here.
Yeah.
Do they sleep with you?
Yes, yeah.
They sleep in between us. They push us off. The usual.
It's actually their bed.
It's a bed by night and it's a wrestling ring by day.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
My favorite part of the space is that it's a blank slate. They have an eclectic style, but they haven't done too much that I have to unravel. I can just add to it.
We're just gonna sweeten up the space.
Oh, sorry, didn't I mention that we were knocking down the closet wall and building it?
Stop it.
No, seriously.
Get out of Dodge. Ball. So a lot of work to do. We should really get to it.
We should start. So, can we get the keys?
Yes, here you go.
Thank you.
And good luck.
Have fun.
This will go to you.
I'll be in the kitchen checking out the fridge. Let's call some friends, throw a house party.
So I'm going to add a lot of texture to the space. I'm going to bring in some new drapery, custom headboard, and also bring in hints of black, thinking of all the things they have already, adding that back in, but making it more elevated. This is going to be an elevated bedroom.
This is a very simple build plan. We're going to be building a bench by the window. We'll be building a headboard. We'll be leveling out their cabinets so that the doors line up at the top. The only things that we need are some 2x3s, some MDF, some brad nails. Home Hardware has been kind enough to donate those items to us, so we have all the build materials we need to get this job done.
I'm gonna head out and I'm gonna get shopping because there are a lot of things I need to enhance this space.
So the major build piece for this project is the window bench. This is a very simple build. All we're gonna do is install a frame, clad it with MDF, caulk it in, paint it, and make it look like it's always been here. The MDF will be a little bit tricky, especially the front face, because I have to cut around these baseboards like a glove. Because there's a pillow going on here, I'm gonna butt this side piece up so from the front, you see no seams. Now that the window bench is done, the Serta Pro painters are here to give this whole room a once-over. Ayanna chose a color from Beauty Tone called Luxe Look, which is fitting. We're gonna give this whole room the same color, the ceiling, the baseboards, the casing around the doors and the walls, different sheens, but the same color. This is called color drenching. We're gonna let that paint dry overnight. I'll be back first thing in the morning to finish things up. Yeah, rest up and let's get at it tomorrow.
Delight. Now, Juan and Daryl have an older home.
Yes.
I do too. It gives great character, but you know, there's a few challenges.
There are.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the house is about 120 years old.
Yeah.
And it came with all the creaks and the moans that 120-year-olds usually have.
Yes, I've never. Yeah. Have you ever met a 120-year-old?
I haven't yet, but I'd imagine they moan and creak a lot.
I moan and creak when I wake up, so I can imagine it's a thing for sure.
You know, it needed a refresh.
Totally. That's a lot of stuff going on, but I love all the stuff you did. You're really working hard. You got your work cut out for you for sure.
Yeah. I mean, yes. Every time I see, there is the work that Ayanna has prescribed for me.
Yes.
Right? And every time we go into a space, she's like, Seb, this is what we're doing. And all I'm doing is looking around for other little things that I can fix here and there, because I'll give you one of my tricks as a builder. I don't know if there's any builders in the crowd or maybe on TV, but one of my tricks is we're gonna go in, we're gonna do the scope.
Yeah.
But I'm also gonna look around the house. When I go to the bathroom, I'm gonna see if the lock works.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if the hinge on the door is okay.
See, the tap is a little
See a little
loose.
tap, something that I can fix in 5 minutes. Because,
Extra Seb time.
Yeah.
5 minutes, you know?
See? Very good.
It doesn't mean a lot to me, but to someone who gets their door fixed or their tap fixed when they weren't expecting it, that can sometimes make them even more happy
100%.
than the renovation we do, because they pay a lot for it.
Yes. See, I absolutely love this. Now, Seb, you did something a little off camera because you found one of these little issues.
I did.
You found loose hinges on a closet door, and since it was off camera, do you mind showing us how you fixed that?
Sure.
Yeah.
So they had a door where every time you open and close you close the door and the door hits on the jamb. You got to kind of like lift it up a little bit and clunk it into. Oh, there's a lot of nods.
We
in the
know.
crowd.
Yeah.
They know. Okay. This is
All new customers.
everyone signing up for the free 5-minute Seb fix. Even better, I'm gonna teach you how to do it yourself.
Nice.
Okay? So, what happens very often with these doors is here we have a hinge that's just kind of into this 2x4, and it's supposed to be nice and tight, but what happens is over time, the hinge gets loose, and these screws get loose. And the reason is because over 120 years of opening and closing that door, the holes, they start to wear out, and there's not enough for the threads of the screws to grab onto. And you get a deeper screw, and you try to go deeper, but it won't grab because literally it's just going in and out of that hole.
It's almost like a nail now, but not even tight like a nail.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. So it's a very easy fix for this.
Okay.
All right?
Oh, I'm excited.
First thing you do is
It's in its pocket.
It's in his pocket. What could it be? What could it be?
you take a step back because you're stressed out because your door's not working.
Wait, this is a family
You grab
show.
your pack. Now, I have a little addiction. I know you don't like this addiction, but
It's
golf.
It's golfing.
It's golf.
Golfing.
All
Okay.
All right.
I like that. That was good. That was sneaky.
golf tee.
Yeah.
All right? Golf tee, a little matchstick, a couple of toothpicks, anything actually that you can grab and you can put into that hole to fill it up. And then you get a nice little knife or a saw, or if you don't have one of those, hammer.
That was thrilling. Yeah.
Snap it off. And
You
now,
plugged it up.
now that hole is fixed.
Yeah.
And when you go to put your screw in, it's gonna be brand new and it's gonna open and close for another 120 years.
See, I love that. And the really good thing about that is you go golfing. golfing, say you go, I don't golf, but you got your tee. But if you do go golfing, also save those little pencils, because they could also fit in those holes. And I love those little pencils.
There's so many golfers out there hiding their golf bags right now.
I know. They're like, someone's going to come steal all my tees.
Golfers, you are all vindicated.
Yeah.
You know, we need you.
Yeah.
We need the golf tees.
Okay, perfect. Now, Sebastian, in addition, quite often in your renos, and even just at home, we end up wanting to hang something really kind of substantial and heavy on a wall when we're making over a space. Now, you wanted to talk about a traditional French cleat method. What does that mean?
Yeah, the French cleat is another way to hang items that are very heavy, art that's very heavy, or mirrors, or things that are, you just have a lot of weight and have to go up, and a little plug is not gonna do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so French cleat is quite simple to make.
Yeah.
You basically take a 2x4 and you cut it in half.
Oh.
But you don't cut it straight.
No.
You cut it on an angle.
On a miter.
A miter.
Bravo,
45.
Mary. Big deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what's gonna happen is you're gonna take your piece of art and you're gonna put it on this side.
Okay.
You screw it in, or you're gonna glue it on, or however you're gonna do it. And then you take your other piece and you're gonna screw that onto the wall. A couple of screws through there. And then you take your piece and you're gonna just sit it on top like that. Okay?
Very cool.
Now I know it's kind of hard to see.
Yeah.
If only I should have brought. I wish I had something to.
Oh, I think I have something.
Oh.
Maybe something like this.
Something like that. There you go.
Yeah.
Surprise. This looks really like the piece of art that was in my hallway this morning.
Okay.
Okay, so as you can see, I have a piece of 2x4 that has been cut and it's screwed to the back of this. Now you can just go up to your wall. You can sit it on top of your other piece. It sits in there. You can slide it back and forth to fight center. And you paint that the same color as your wall.
And you are good to go. Sebastian, I
problem.
love that. That was very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, now you also did this hack for a headboard that Ayanna designed, but we're gonna see that as well as that big reveal after the break, so stick around. Big-hearted couple who wanted a bedroom that felt like a serene retreat from their busy lives. Let's see how Sebastian and Ayanna transformed their space.
We actually have a lot to do today.
Yes, we do. Got to get some nightstands painted, light fixtures installed. The bigger project is a partnership between you and I, and that's...
Yes, the headboard.
Yeah.
We better do it.
Let's do it.
I think there was a misunderstanding on my part. I heard headboard, which means one piece of MDF that we're gonna build a headboard out of and put behind the bed. This, however, has been explained to me as not quite a headboard. It's more of a wall application because it's going from one wall all the way to the other. It's a much bigger job than I anticipated, and I am no Superman. I mean, I'm Superman, but I'm no Clark Kent. Come on. I have a ledger on the back so we can screw it in.
Perfect.
But first thing first, we need to make this MDF look better, and that is your department. I am following your lead.
Yes. And now for the best part. We're going to cover our custom headboard with this beautiful velvet fabric from Tonic Living in a mink color. We're going to wrap it over, and we're going to also use it on all the upholstery from the pillows to cushions, and that's going to give this space a beautiful custom look.
That's how it's done. That's how it's done, folks. That's how it's done.
One of the things that we want to change in this space is this light fixture. And I'm going to upgrade it with this beautiful rattan light fixture that's going to bring in that warm spa feel. And Louis from Slate Electric is going to actually help me with that.
You know, these makeovers are always a rush because, well, literally we don't have a lot of time and we have a lot of people in the space.
I love adding a little personality to a space with some accessories. All of these beautiful accessories are from HomeSense. I think this is going to create a really dramatic look in the corner.
The work is just about done. You know, we're 98% there, and all of a sudden the tension releases. Shoulders start feeling good. I start feeling young again.
You'll feel even younger once we hand over this bedroom to these homeowners because they're going to be so excited and the joy is going to fill you up and you'll be 2 years old.
Toddler status, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, come on in.
This is hard to do on crutches.
Before you look, all right, I would like for you to tell me what your old room used to look like.
Plain, walls were unpainted.
There were broken blinds for sure.
The light fixture was awful.
Whenever you guys are ready, open your eyes.
It feels bigger.
Yes.
Yes, it does actually.
Yeah, like,
I feel like an adult.
oh my God, I love it.
So the best part of the room is that you've been provided better sleep by IKEA. They provided the bed, the mattress. So now you have this luxury place to sleep.
Oh my God!
Window bench!
And Sebastian got you a window bed.
No! Love the blind.
Now
Love
you have
it.
solid blinds that have blackout fabric behind them. So when you go to bed, you can close them and no light is going to creep in. And we loved your nightstands. And then I had Sebastian do some work.
You paint it?
Yeah, but they look.
They look gorgeous.
Fantastic.
They provide a ton of storage. And the black really complements the headboard.
Yes. I love the headboard. What?
I love it.
Did you love building the headboard?
It's a wall treatment. All right?
And the real vision behind the room were your beautiful dogs.
Yes.
And we had the color from the fabric
Yes.
to match their fur.
Yep.
And then we had Poster Jack print a beautiful picture of Theo.
love it.
And we made it center stage.
Yeah. We're super happy. Thank you so much for everything. It makes it feel like we grew up.
Yeah. I can't wait to just people watch. I'm so excited for that.
I think we are all done here. The last thing to do is release the hounds! All right, I think everybody's happy.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Our job here is done.
It's a headboard.
You see where I am right now in this place? This is a place that I just got put in. My place.
Wow, mission accomplished. And yes, oh my gosh, those dogs, they seem thrilled.
They were happy. The sounds,
Yes.
the snuffling.
Yeah.
They were the inspiration for the room, so therefore they were the ones who needed to see it first.
I was gonna say, I was like, if a dog likes it, it's like getting a cat to like it. Oh my gosh, that'd be amazing. What is it like? Now, Ayanna, you designed a really beautiful monochromatic space.
Yes.
So let's go through kind of your key tips on pulling a look like that together, starting with mood.
Okay, so setting the mood for your space, especially when you're working with a monochromatic scheme, which is kind of like my beautiful outfit.
Yeah, very smart.
It's all in the neutral tone,
Yeah.
but I'm not wearing one color, I'm wearing shades of that color. So that's
Nice.
what the monochromatic room would be about.
Okay.
So if you're gonna set the mood for that space, it has to come from something that's personal to you. And the reason we want it to be that way is we want to make sure that the overall vibe is great, but it helps you decide what materials you're going to use, what colors you're going to use. You want everything to feel cohesive, so first pick your mood.
Okay.
So for me, I'm a neutral gal because I love a serene space.
Yeah.
And so that you could, for you, Mary, we'd probably pick something cheerful
I was gonna
and
say,
bright.
my bedroom is yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is cheerful and bright. Yeah.
And Sebastian, we probably think maybe something moody.
Yeah.
Maybe your blue would be our inspiration.
Right.
See?
Exactly.
Very, very nice.
Yeah. So we pick our mood and we say, okay, now let's move on over to the next step and start designing. the
Okay,
room.
perfect. And the next step you wanted to chat about was color. You want to
Yes.
pick the right color to go with that mood you're going for.
Exactly.
Yeah, so let's chat.
So here we have 3 color palettes that would be considered monochromatic. So here, it's a neutral color. We've got a green, we've got a blue. And this is what I'd be selecting if I was saying, I want something spa-like, something pretty relaxing. If you want something a little bit more fresh and gives you a little bit of energy, not over the top, we select a blue. Like Sebastian's outfit, we're going with a deep blue, and that creates a closed space, makes it feel warm and moody.
Yeah.
You could go in there and read your book and watch a cozy movie. Now the vibe and the color now are meeting each other.
Totally.
And that sets the tone. We can pick our fabrics from there.
Yeah.
And now we're picking everything within that scheme.
All right, next I wanted to talk about choosing a focal point.
Yes.
And an inspiration item.
Yeah. So obviously when you're going into a space, sometimes you know the mood you want, but anything can be your inspiration, but you want to ensure that that inspiration is anchored in the room. When someone walks in, you want them to be like, when I walk into a room and I see Sebastian.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you're like, that's I like that.
I am the inspiration.
So let's say we were doing your kitchen.
Yeah.
What would you want the focal point to be?
Honestly, it's probably like the main prep area, the island area right there.
That's awesome. So let's say the island is the prep area and we're going with our blue scheme. There's multiple colors in here, but we want the island to stand out. So maybe we would go with the deeper blue color, make the island that deeper blue, and then we'll choose the lightest of the blues for all of the exterior cabinets and walls. And now when people come in, they're like, Mary, you've got the best island.
Yes.
It's wow.
Yes, I love that. That's such a great idea. Again, like choosing a place that kind of gently directs an eye.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, very cool. Now, next up, you want to talk about adding texture and pattern.
That's right. For example, with the blue color,
greens?
the
Yeah,
green
yeah.
colors we have here, this pillow could be your centerpiece that you've picked the inspiration from. It's got lots of other colors in it, and it gives something as a jumping off, so you're not just looking at a solid green room. You could add texture through the materials you use, add wood, wicker, also the finish of things, like the gloss on this vase. You take that wallpaper, open it up, and show us.
This is beautiful wallpaper. First off, love a bird.
Yes.
Second, oh my gosh, look at that stunner. Isn't that nice?
So imagine the tan color, but this is the entire wall. Now it's got a few little hits of orange and yellow in there. Now you're just not a flat space. You've given texture because there's pattern on the wall as well.
Oh, I love that. That's so stunning.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of those little kind of pops, the last thing you wanted to say was adding an accent color.
Yes, it's not an additional color. I mean like an accent. Think 10% of the 100%. So here we've got this blue, and then we've got just a little hit of red in it. You could add some flowers that are red. Maybe you add a pillow with a stripe with red. We're not making the room another color and making it jarring. You're just adding something so when you're looking through the room, your eyes has some other beautiful things to look at.
To catch on, kind of like your scarf.
Exactly.
With the green, I'm picking up what
so
you're putting
down. So you get a little
Anna.
green,
Yes.
but everything else is pretty neutral.
See? Genius. Absolutely genius. Great job, you two. Great tips. Thank you so much for doing that. Great makeover. We got to take a quick break. We'll be right back. What do bugs and organizing have in common? Well, my next guest says that she can help you figure out your organizing style with bugs. So please welcome best-selling author and organization expert, Cassandra Aarssen. How's it going, Cassandra? Oh my
I'm
gosh.
excited to be here.
Okay, Cass. Yeah. Bugs and organizing.
Listen, I am a natural slob.
Okay.
So as a kid, my mom's like, you're such a clutter bug. You're such a clutter bug. So when I realized I just don't organize a traditional way,
Yes.
I organize differently. I thought I was a genius.
Yes.
And I was like, I gotta give each different style a cute little bug name. Because no one's really a clutter bug.
No one is real. No, or everyone is, which means we're getting into that
good.
mind bend.
Yeah, I don't think people are messy. They organize differently.
Yeah.
So when you know your organizing style naturally, you can set up a system that stays tidy.
Okay, I like that.
Yes.
See, that's so great. So what is kind of the philosophy behind the kind of clutter bug story?
So everyone organizes differently. It isn't one size fits all. And you're either a naturally really detailed person, you're a bit of a perfectionist, you love categories, or you're laid back and you're like, a little wishy-washy.
Yeah.
And you're either really visual, it's out of sight, out of mind, or you like to hide your things.
Okay.
Out of sight. And that combination makes up your clutter bug style.
See, I love this. And it's also great. It's the same as with learning. Like maybe you don't learn the same way as somebody else. Maybe you don't organize the same way, but that doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just a little different.
Exactly.
Oh, I like that. Okay, cool. So I'm not gonna lie, you have a quiz online.
I do.
And I took this quiz to find out which clutter bug I was. And I'm a cricket. What does that mean?
I feel like I could tell that as soon as I met you.
Okay.
A little bit. No, it's good. Crickets are traditional organizers. Very neat, very tidy. They're perfectionists, love details. It's like containers within containers within containers. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Super crickety.
Yeah.
But listen, they also, that perfectionist mindset, sometimes they tend to pile till later.
That's what I do. Okay, I do that.
Like neat.
I thought my neat piles, and if my husband tries to move them, I'm like, that's the important one. Don't touch the pile. Because I need to wait until I can put it in my filing cabinet.
So my advice to crickets is like maybe chill a little bit.
Okay, cool. Right on.
Like just like a little more ladybug,
Yes.
a little less cricket.
Okay.
I'm also biased because I'm a ladybug.
Okay. Yeah. So where a cricket is, everything is very tucked away, very organized.
Yes.
Everything has a space.
Lots of categories,
Lot of
lots
categories.
of details. Yes. A ladybug is like, chill.
Okay.
Like one category.
Okay.
So instead of a file system,
Yes.
it's like paid bills 2025.
Okay.
And you just throw it in one bin. And that's still organized.
Yes. Okay. Oh, see, I like this.
Yes. I don't fold. I'm an organizing expert. I just toss my clothes into a basket.
Really?
It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
See, I have a pile that I'm going to get to, and until I can do it perfectly, I feel bad the whole time.
Yeah, it's about embracing the way you naturally put things down to catch it in an organized way and have it go into the container that works for you. So Ladybug, it's simple. One, big categories, big baskets, no lid, chuck it in, and move on.
Okay, I like that. Yeah. Well, ladybug, my cricket needs to become slightly more ladybug.
And I need to be a little more cricket.
Okay, cool.
It's fine,
Match made in heaven. Match made in heaven.
There's no right and wrong here.
Yeah.
So next we have the bee.
Okay.
Bees are so visual. It's out of sight, out of mind. But like a cricket, they're really meticulous, little detailed bugs.
Yes.
And so lots of categories. They also tend to pile until later, but they have to see their stuff. For some really strange reason, bees tend to be like crafters.
Okay.
They love projects.
This looks like a crafty. Oh, we got a bee right there.
I love bees. They always have a project on the go.
Yeah.
So we actually have a closet here. You can see when you embrace that and go with visual storage, lots of little categories, you actually keep it tidy. The issue is I'll do that later. So I'm like, maybe they need to chill a little bit too.
Okay. Yeah.
Embrace good enough and make it perfect later.
Okay, I like that.
And last but not least.
Okay, so this one, I'm not gonna lie, light bone to pick. This is not my favorite insect in the world. We're talking a butterfly. Fun fact about me, don't like butterflies.
I find that they're majestic and you're like spiders and centipedes.
They're fine. They're fine.
Butterfly.
Do you know what it is? Butterflies don't have a direction. They just flit around, and it makes me stressed out, which I'm seeing now as a very cricket thing to say.
It is a very cricket thing to say. But like the fact that you say that, you're just like intuitively getting it. That's why I chose the butterfly to represent this organizing style. They're like here, there, and everywhere. Don't put me in a box, man.
Yeah.
They don't want lots of details. They need fast, easy, simple systems, no lids, like just quickly toss it in.
Okay.
Almost every little child is a butterfly.
Oh, okay.
So think about that. You got to see it, but you also can't put it in lots of categories. But that still is organization.
Yeah.
And it will stay tidy.
Okay, that's fantastic. So I'm feeling like I need to be a little more ladybug. I will never be a butterfly, but that's okay. I like that.
I think the most important thing is knowing your own style, but also knowing the people you live with.
Yes.
Because if you were married to a butterfly,
we would not be.
it'd be battle royale.
It would be not a thing. Yeah.
But there's also compromises.
Totally.
Really.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I love that, Cass. This has been really, really great, super fascinating. I'm fine in my little cricket world. I love a little cricket. Love it. Good team. Cass, thanks so much for joining us today. That was awesome. We got to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Alexis Honce is here with tips on how to pack your carry-on bag as efficiently as possible. Hello, Alexis. How's it going?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Oh man, I'm amped about this. I love packing in a carry-on.
I could pack today and just go to the airport after.
Right?
Yeah.
It feels like that's in the air. Okay,
Who knows?
let's start off and let's chat about the best luggage for our carry-on?
Okay, I think that's like the first step is really important details because you don't want to drag a heavy luggage around,
No.
okay? So my favorite brand that I use personally is Away Luggage. This is one from them. What I love about them, ASMR here.
Nice.
Polycarbonate shell, which means it's really lightweight.
Yeah.
Also, it's like squishy, so it's not going to break. So if it gets, bumped around back there and in the airplane.
Yes.
Because I have another suitcase that did get a crack, if you'd believe it.
That's true. No, it's totally true. And you want the weight to be inside the suitcase, not the suitcase itself.
Not the suitcase. So the latest suitcase you can find is best.
Okay.
And then you definitely want 4 wheels so that you can spin it and you don't have to drag it, which is really great. But what I really love about Away is that they have compression panels, they're called.
Oh, okay.
So this is where it just holds the clothes in place, also pushes them down, gets the air out of there so you can pack more.
Yes.
But holding it in place is key so clothes don't get wrinkled.
Totally.
And then this has like a double zip, so you have different areas here, and this is also a compression panel. And this one, you can just yank
crank
on
it, yeah.
And you can really get your clothes pushed down and really compress them. Another great thing that Away has is like it comes with its own laundry bag that zips up really well. So you keep the dirty clothes away from the clean clothes.
True. Yeah.
I feel like germs are a thing right now.
Well, and you don't want to get home and have to wash all your clothes if you didn't wear them.
No, because you keep them separate.
Yeah.
And then it also has a TSA-approved lock, which I know you're keeping the suitcase with you, but sometimes you get there, maybe there's no space, and they make you check it last minute, and you might have valuables in it, so it's always good to have a TSA lock.
100%. Okay, that is fantastic. Now, next up, we're going to talk about packing your clothes in general, or the rule, what to pack.
Well, just a quick tip here, if you are going on like a shorter trip, the best thing to do is 3-3-3. That's your rule. Just remember it. 3 tops, 3 pants, 3 shoes.
Okay.
Keep it in like a nice palette that works together, and you can actually mix and match to make like almost 15 outfits if you just mix and match it over and over.
Yeah.
I left the shoes away today because we're on a kitchen countertop here.
Smart.
But I got 3 tops and 3 bottoms, and they're all different. So I have a cardigan, a sweater, a vest, jeans, a dress pants, and a skirt.
Okay.
And then how to pack them really nice and efficiently. If they're soft, like a knit sweater or t-shirt, that's when you roll. Okay?
I love a roll, yeah.
So that's going to save you space, and they can go right into the crevices, which is really great. So just nice roll like that.
Fantastic.
And then, because that's like my most asked question, what do you fold?
Yes.
What do you roll?
Yeah.
What you want to fold is anything that has like structure, so a vest. I actually keep my jeans because it has a lot of structure. Dressed pants. Now, why you want to fold it is so that you just don't get wrinkled. Because sometimes they can get so wrinkled that you have to like almost dry clean them to get the wrinkles out.
Yes.
Especially if they're in the suitcase moving around.
The pictures of me from my best friend's bachelorette party and the dress that I wore.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy, she's wrinkly. Yeah, it was not it. Yeah.
And sometimes you don't want to travel with like a mini steamer, even though, I'm a stylist, so I do.
You do.
Okay, so these actually also come with Away, so you can buy everything all at the same time, which is nice.
Nice.
And if you buy your packing cubes with your suitcase, they like perfectly fit so that it fits nicely and seamlessly into the shape of your suitcase.
Which is great.
Unmentionables in here. I'm not going to open it for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what's in there. And sometimes actually I like to cover and pack my purses too. If you have something leather that you want protected, especially if you're going to pack shoes in that, it also protects it.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that.
So
Okay,
look how nice it's looking so far.
honestly, this is looking really good so far. I'm very pumped about it. All right, moving on, we're going to talk about jewelry. Now, you've done a couple hacks for packing jewelry before, but we got something different today.
I always talk about using a paper straw and putting your necklace through it. So I'm
Yes.
giving you a new tip today.
Okay,
It's time. So actually, this is really fun. You just take a pill
Organizer.
organizer.
Yeah.
I was going to say pill popper.
Yeah,
a
yeah.
pill organizer here
Uh-huh.
that you can buy anywhere at the pharmacy. And you can put your earrings in there really nice. You can
I
put
love
your
that.
rings. Now, what I like about this, you can keep them separate so that they don't scratch, because a lot of this stuff is like expensive jewelry or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to slide in the side here. Now, if you, for some reason, had to pack away your suitcase, you can put that in your purse really easy and keep that stuff with you.
That's so smart.
And then I wanted to throw a quick one in, because I know we're allowed certain liquids, but we're carry-on, so it's like minimal.
Yeah.
They have bar shampoos. They have all this stuff that actually is not even liquids that you can use.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to worry about
The
making
liquids.
limits.
That's
The
so
liquids.
smart, because obviously your moisturizer is a liquid, but then like if you can do bar soap, bar shampoo, you're good to go.
Shampoo, conditioner, hand soap, whatever you want, you can do it like that.
This is fantastic.
Okay,
I feel
hold
like
on.
we're traveling. We're almost there.
You grab the hat, because I have a really fun one that I always use,
That's
especially if you're
the
going.
thing. We're going on a beach vacation.
Or anywhere where there's sun, which is any vacation.
Yeah,
right?
you need a ball cap. I'm going on one soon. I always pack a ball cap.
A ball cap. Now, pretend it's a straw hat, everybody,
Okay.
okay? That needs to keep its shape. Over on Amazon, you slip it in the hood here, a little magnetic clip,
Oh.
so that it doesn't get squished in your suitcase,
Yeah.
or you can clip it to your purse, and then when you're walking around, you can have a big straw hat. You know, we spend a lot of money on them.
Totally.
You don't need to buy a ton, but you don't want to squish it in the suitcase, so that's just like an easy thing you can carry around.
That is fantastic.
And look, easy breezy.
Oh, I love it, Alexis. Absolute wizard. Thanks so much. That was great. Keeping us all packed and organized. We got to take a break. We'll be right back. That was great. That is all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed this show. I'd love to see you right here in our studio audience. The tickets are free. Just scan the QR code on your screen to apply. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow for more of The Good Stuff.